Y'all know I'm into astrology, so I'm popping in to say, welcome to Gemini season. And no, I'm not a Gemini, but I'm still hype.
It's true. You make my body feel loose. You make my heart go boom.
Hey y'all, happy Friday. For those of you who don't know, my name is Cassidy and this is 8, a channel highlighting self-love through the 8 dimensions of wellness. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what does self-love, wellness, all of that stuff have to do with astrology? And it's a good question because honestly, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about, I didn't really figure it out, but I got it. So I'm one of those annoying friends that usually, I know the signs. I'm like, oh yeah, you definitely a Cancer. You're definitely a Scorpio. Oh yeah, I know that, annoying. And I've actually, the more I've learned about astrology, the more I've learned how limiting it can be to confine people to these one signs, especially their sun sign. That's why it's so important to look at natal charts, which show where the planets align when you were actually born and how they affect different parts of your life. There's so many different things I can talk about when it comes to astrology, and I definitely want to get into more videos about it. I'm not an astrologer, so you're gonna get what I find off the internet and other channels. But yeah, I thought I'd at least start there. So for Christmas, my sister gifted me with this moon journal by Sandy Citron that basically takes you through self-reflections throughout the astrological year. And not only has it taught me a lot about signs and various planets, it's really pushed me to embrace the energy that all of the signs and planets offer, and using them as a guide to my self-love journey. I'll talk more about that at the end. For now, we're gonna hop into the deets about Gemini season. I don't know why it makes me dance, but it's something about that Gemini energy that's just, I'm ready to socialize. So let's hop in. A few things you should know about Gemini season. Number 1, it runs from May 21st, so yesterday, till June 20th. So we got a minute, okay? 2, its element is air. So air signs are all about the mental, which makes sense because when your head is in the clouds, air, mental and social. So I'll talk a little bit more about what that means, but that's Gemini's element. Third thing is Gemini is a mutable sign. So mutable signs have a lot of different characteristics, but basically what it means is there's 3 signs per season. So we're still in the spring season. And Gemini is technically the last sign of the spring season. And I follow astrologer Chani. I don't know how to say her name. Chani Nicholas. That's crazy. I've never really had to say her name aloud, but I follow her, and she basically says that mutable signs are signs that are in between the seasons, really like a little bit of everything in regards to their energy. And I love that because I've said before, I'm a very eclectic person, and so I'm really basking in that. My moon journal book is also good of just giving me 2 main themes per month to kind of focus on. So for Gemini season, it talks about focusing on mindset and community, which makes sense because we talked about mental and social principles being a part of this sign. It's also the new moon today, and y'all know I'm really into new moon rituals and stuff like that. So new moon is a great time to set intentions and really plant the seed. What's important to remember about planting seeds is that it's not going to occur immediately. And so what I like about doing things around the moon cycle is that I'm able to see growth around particular intentions that I set. So it's kind of goals, but it's more so, I look at goals like I'm looking at a particular outcome. I might be very specific, versus with intentions, I more so just embrace what's to come and kind of use that as a focus, or try things out that are around that intention. We can use this new moon energy to create intentions that align with the sun signs theme. So mindset, community, whatever resonate with you. This is literally just kind of my plan. Some things you can kind of brainstorm about are What are some new ways you want to solve a problem? What are some things that, this is something the book recommended. What are some new things that you are starting to notice you might need from your friendships, and kind of thinking about that? What do you want to learn during this time? Gemini energy is all about intellectual stimulation. And so what's something that might gain your focus during this time? How can you connect with your community during this time, especially with things just being kind of like some places are moving into like different phases of their stay-at-home order. And so like, what does community building look like for you, even though things might not 100% return to how they were before? Honestly, I love the possibilities that come with the Gemini energy, and so I'm really looking forward to this season. Before I close out, I want to talk about how astrology has really helped me on my self-love journey. And so when I first was starting my journey, I didn't really know where to start. I know that we are multi-dimensional beings, and so I wanted something a little bit deeper than a personality quiz or a strengths test. Those are all things that I've done during college, and they didn't give me the full scope of myself. And you know, when you're also unpacking a lot of trauma and different things, it's really hard to kind of say, this is who I am, because it's like you've only known yourself through those traumatic experiences. So I needed something that was a little bit more multifaceted, and that's where astrology came in. Two things I love about astrology, especially as it's helping me on this journey, is that it's consistent and dynamic. I like the consistency of the signs and the various planets. So obviously retrogrades and eclipses and different things like that happen that kind of shift things, but for the most part, the energy is consistent, themes are consistent, and it's really easy to like keep learning about it or keep drawing from it. Another part is the fact that it's dynamic and that it's always changing. So I can focus on something for that particular season or that particular time period of a sign, and then I'm shifting into a new part. So it keeps me always on my toes, but gives me just enough time to like focus on this area of my life. So I'm really excited to focus on community and mindset during Gemini season. And then during Cancer season, I'm likely focusing on like home life, because we love our homes. And so, yeah, those are two things that have really helped me, and it's really grounded me. So I don't, or at least I try not to like push it onto people, but I found it works for me. And so, yeah, I'll link some other things that have helped me. I think in one of my April Reads videos, I actually talked about a modern astrology book that I like, but I'll also link some things in the description box below that could also possibly help you on your journeys. That's about it, I think, for today. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.